What's up guys, Billy here, and today I wanted to continue the topic of drone insurance, something that I talked about in a video I think I made 5 months ago. Anyway, if you guys missed that video, I would highly recommend checking it out as I'm going to be referring to it a lot in this video, so I'll leave the link down in the description. Anyway, in that video, I talked about 3 different kinds, or I guess 3 different companies who offer drone insurance, one of which was State Farm, and I said that that is probably, right now, the best choice to go with. I made some calls to other big insurance companies like Progressive and Geico, and the 2 representatives that I got on the phone had no idea what I was asking. Going a little bit more in depth as far as State Farm is concerned, I talked to the representative that my mom deals with, and she said that they could insure my Phantom 4 Pro under their personal articles policy for $45 a year. It seems like a great deal, but it's only available for those of you who fly your drone for personal uses and not for business uses. So it pretty much leaves out a big chunk of the drone flying community, obviously those who are taking pictures for real estate, surveying purposes, all of that stuff. But if you're out there and you're just flying your drone around for personal uses, just flying around the backyard, you can insure it through State Farm. So just to clear something up, State Farm will insure your drone under that personal articles policy, but they don't have insurance that is tailored specifically for drones. They don't have drone insurance. Now what re-sparked my interest in this topic is actually a commercial that I saw during the Eagles game yesterday, Football Sunday finally back. I saw this commercial that was actually made by State Farm, and it had a drone in it. I guess the only real way that I can describe it to you guys is if I show it to you here in this video, and I don't think that State Farm would mind if I show one of their commercials, right?
7 years, never a scratch.
That's more than a scratch.
What do you think about a new truck, buddy?
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Flying away on a wing and a prayer.
State Farm knows it's more than a truck, so why not give it the protection it deserves?
I am so sorry.
Talk to a State Farm agent today.
The first thing that I want to point out is the drone used. It is clearly a Mavic Pro that has been altered to look different with white paint and a little dome looking thing at the top. I just thought that was a funny observation. Now as far as the information in this commercial itself, or I guess the message it was trying to get across, it of course was geared towards car insurance, obviously for Aaron Rodgers' truck there, but it got me thinking and some questions popped in my head, and the biggest thing that I was honestly thinking about all day is, will drone insurance be mandatory in the future? We of course know that organizations like the FAA and companies like DJI are trying to get a grasp on drone flight and make it safe for everyone, but sometimes I think that they can be a little bit too overreaching. For example, the FAA is trying to mandate that all drones after 2020 have to have obstacle avoidance on them. I didn't read a lot about this article and I'm not going to go in depth about this topic, but that is just an example of how these companies and how these organizations are trying to step in and make drone flying safer, but also kind of making it a little bit more complicated for everyone. And again, this kind of brings up the question of, will drone insurance be mandatory in the near future or in the distant future? Something that really sucks is that there are so many people out there who just want to pick up a drone like the Spark online, have some fun in the backyard, but once they get it at home and they do some research on drones, they realize that there is so much more to flying them, and this is something that turns a lot of people away from the hobby. I wanted to make a comparison between car insurance and drone insurance, but at the end of the day, they really aren't comparable whatsoever. I mean, they're in 2 totally different realms. A drone is so much less expensive than a car, and there's so much more that could go wrong with a car. So if you kind of compare those 2 things and say that car insurance should be mandatory, I think that on the other hand, drone insurance should not be mandatory. What I'm really trying to say is that while there are drone insurance options out there, they are very limited. I hope that moving forward, companies like State Farm will come out with full drone insurance policies, something that you could choose from depending on which drone you have or how much coverage you want to have on that drone. I see that happening within the future, maybe not through companies like State Farm or Progressive. Maybe if they want to jump on the bandwagon, they will, but definitely certain companies out there will start coming out with bigger packages, or I guess I should say better packages for the drones that you're flying. There's a huge gray area when it comes to insuring a drone or determining how to insure a drone, and that's something that needs to be worked out over the next months, years, I guess just down the road. We need to determine how to insure these drones, because some companies will ask you if you want to insure the payload, and a camera on a DJI drone is considered a payload although they're connected. So again, at the end of the day, huge gray area and it needs to be worked out. Anyway, I want to leave this discussion open to all of you down in the comments. I'll be lurking around, checking out some of your discussions, and trying to jump in on a few of them that I think are good. But guys, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed, and as always, I'll talk to you later. Peace.